Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I thought I would go ahead and do a gluten-free recipe. I recently got diagnosed with celiac disease, and my husband and I have went completely gluten-free. Over our journey so far, I've created quite a few different gluten-free recipes that have been a real hit in this house, and let me just say, my husband is the pickiest eater I've ever met. I am a vegetarian, so I will be cooking chicken and bacon, which I do not eat, but my husband does, so this meal is something that I make for him. So with that, let's get started. So today we're going to be making some gluten-free cheddar and bacon waffles. We're also going to do a gluten-free coated chicken strip. And I'm going to put together a little honey sriracha sauce to kind of pull it all together. A little heat, a little sweet to go with the saltiness of the waffle. Okay, so I've already fried up the bacon to go into the waffles. So I've got that set aside. The first thing we need to do is I have here 3 chicken strips. I put them in hefty bags because I separate them when we buy them so that we don't have to make a whole bunch at once. But the first thing that I will do is dry this off, pat it dry, and then I have to put together a egg mixture to dip it in, and then we're going to go ahead and season up some gluten-free breading crumbs. Alright, so here I have those gluten-free crumbs, and I'm going to go ahead and pour about a cup and a half. And it's plain, so we're going to go ahead and add in some seasonings. I'm going to add in a little bit of onion powder, seasoned salt, a little chili powder, Italian seasoning, and ground black pepper. We're going to go ahead and... It smells so good! Alright, so we're going to go ahead and set that aside. Alright, and next we're going to go ahead and we're going to get our egg mixture together. So all I'm going to do is pour, I'm going to put 2, maybe 3 eggs in here. Well, for just these 3, I'm just going to use 2. And I'm going to beat them up. Whisk these babies up. All right, and now that we've got ourselves a little station here, we are going to go ahead and coat the chicken. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this little chickie and we're going to dump it in the egg wash. Make sure you get the whole thing covered. Then we dump it in this coating mix. Make sure it gets nice and coated. And then I'm going to transfer it to a cooking sheet. I went ahead and transferred the chicken to the oven. It's going to cook for about 30-35 minutes. I set my oven to 375. But while the chicken is baking, we're going to go ahead and get our waffle mixture ready. So I have 2 strips of bacon here. I'm going to chop it up and mix it into the batter. I also have here about a cup and a half cup of cheese shredded, because that's also going to go in there. So for gluten-free baking, there are so many different types of flour substitutes that you can use. They're all a little on the pricey end, especially if you go for the all-purpose. But I use this because it's the easiest one to use when it comes to making basic stuff such as waffles. All right, so we're going to go ahead and dump in our all-purpose baking flour, gluten-free of course. I also added about a teaspoon of baking powder into this. And next I'm going to go ahead and add in 2 eggs. And I'm going to add a cup and a half of milk. About 1/4 of a cup of oil. Add our cheese in. We're going to add in our bacon. So now that I've got everything mixed together, I'm going to go ahead and set this aside and let it set for about 15 minutes. And if you don't want to make your own gluten-free waffles, there are tons of good gluten-free waffle pancake mixes that you can buy at the store. And they're pretty affordable. There's this brand Krusteaz. They have one. It's a really good brand and they're super affordable. So while we let the waffle batter set, we're going to go ahead and start on our honey sriracha sauce. So first is sriracha. I'm adding about 1/2 cup. Then we're going to go ahead and add the same amount of honey. Ooh, oh my gosh, that smells so good already. Now I also have here some apple cider vinegar. I'm going to add just a splash of this. Give it some acidity. All right, there we go. Soy sauce. Also, everything I'm using is gluten-free. This is a certified gluten-free soy sauce. Also going to add a little bit of onion powder and black pepper. And then I'm going to put this on the stovetop and I am going to let it heat up just before it boils, and then I'm going to turn it down to simmer until it starts to thicken. Just a little bit. We don't want to spread, we want a sauce. So our chicken is almost done. We have our honey sriracha sauce done. We've had our waffle batter resting for about 15 minutes. Now it's time to make the waffles. So I have a couple different waffle makers. I have 3. This is my favorite to use, and it's so mini. It's cute, right? I got it at Target. It's like the size of your friggin' hand. So one thing to remember when you're cooking gluten-free is people always expect it to taste just like the original thing, and it doesn't. So get used to tasting different textures. It'll be a lot easier if you don't assume that they taste normal. Normal waffle batter is, you know, a little runnier, but a lot of the gluten-free alternative, they're a little thicker and they have a different consistency, but it's not all that different. You really just, you kick up the flavor and you don't even notice. So I have my waffle maker heating up, and I also have my cooking spray because you always want to spray your waffle maker so they don't stick. So I've been wanting to start a cooking segment on my channel for a while. I just wanted to give a shout out to my Aunt Lisa because this was her idea. I've been posting a lot of my gluten-free recipes and meals and stuff on my Facebook page, and she just keeps telling me that I should have a cooking show. So I figure I'm already on TikTok. I do have a YouTube. Why don't I just do a few cooking videos? It's one of my favorite things to do, cooking and baking. So, and I love making video content for you guys. So what's better than mixing it all together, right? All right, so it's ready. Just gonna let that go until the light goes back off. So while I have my waffle cooking, oh my gosh, you can see the steam in the corner. So I have that cooking. I just wanted to update. I will be getting a computer soon, which means it will be a lot easier for me to get content onto my YouTube channel. Right now I'm working with my iPhone XS Max, and I continue to run out of space on it. So I'll be getting a laptop soon. I've never cooked waffles out here before, but I have a really tiny kitchen with no lighting, and my ring light doesn't help that. It really doesn't help my kitchen at all. I'm gonna peek on these. It's almost done. Man, I just wish you guys could smell this though. It smells freaking incredible in here. All right. So our waffle is done. I plan on keeping the gluten-free baking and cooking a segment on my channel because baking and cooking is something that I do a lot of, and it's something that I really enjoy doing. So if you have any suggestions or you'd like to see me turn something that's not naturally gluten-free, I'm up for the challenge. Going gluten-free has been one of the best things I've ever done in my entire life. I have been sick since I was a child. Doctors have never been able to figure out what's wrong with me. It took 3 different doctors before one decided to say, hey, let's do a biopsy. Oh, wow, you have celiac disease. Gluten-free has literally saved my life. Not only has it helped with the sickness, it's helped with depression, anxiety, pain. If you have any ideas or want to see me do something, a trend, another recipe, anything, just go ahead and comment down below and let me know. And I will do my best to do whatever content you want. All right, so I've pulled the chicken out of the oven. The sauce is done, and we already made the waffle. So now it's time to assemble everything, the fun part. I love making the food, but my favorite part about cooking and baking is plating. Let's just put it this way. For my birthday this year, my husband got me 2 different custom MasterChef aprons. I've literally seen all 10 seasons like a million times. It's my dream to be on a cooking show one of these days, but a home baker cooking show, I haven't had any professional training, but I love it. And I'd really like to go on a cooking show because you usually win money, and money could really help me open a business. So we have all of our components here. We have our chicken strip, we have our waffle, and we have our honey sriracha sauce. So we're gonna go ahead and assemble everything. We're gonna go ahead and take our chicken, place it right on top. We're gonna go ahead and take our sauce, which smells so good, by the way. And we're just gonna do a drizzle. Alrighty, and there she is. And that's it for today's video. If you liked it, go ahead and give it a big thumbs up and subscribe. And as always, stay wild.